From an actual fistfight breaking out in a preseason game, to Russell Westbrook finally getting signed by the Sacramento Kings, to Draymond thinking he'd be an elite scorer on a tanking team, NBA preseason has everyone acting out of their minds in the most stupid ways possible. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I mean, last time I did a news recap video, you guys seemed to like it pretty well, and I enjoy making them, so let's go ahead and make another one. But before we get to those three stories, let's talk about Malcolm Brogdon retiring from basketball, because that's insane to me. I still think Brogdon is a really good player. I mean, 2 years ago, he was shooting 40% from three, and the year before that, and in that year before that, he won Sixth Man of the Year. So really, last season, he was pretty bad. He was playing for the Wizards. He shot bad from three, but that was one season of bad basketball. So the fact that he had to fight for a roster spot on the Knicks, now the Knicks did say that they would have given him the spot, but the fact that he had to fight that much for it just means that he wasn't going to get many minutes during the regular season. I mean, I think he retired at the right time, in my opinion, because these teams are treating him unfairly. I mean, Rookie of the Year and Sixth Man of the Year at one point. How many players, and I'm not saying Malcolm Brogdon's a Hall of Famer, but how many players have done that? I absolutely would have loved him as a backup point guard for the Hawks because we don't even have one right now. So I think the disrespect is wild. And yeah, if I'm a role player who's been really good in the NBA, I would not want to, like, I like the idea of going out on your own terms. And he even said something about this in this quote right here. Today, I officially begin my transition out of my basketball career. I have proudly given my mind, body, and spirit to the game over the last few decades. With the many sacrifices it took to get here, I have received many rewards. I am deeply grateful to have arrived at this point on my own terms and now to be able to reap the benefits of my career with my family and friends. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all who have had a place in my journey. I mean, you really can't hate. Like, he doesn't want to be a bottom feeder. He loves basketball because he loves to be really good. And the fact that he now has to fight for minutes mentally has to be super draining. That's what people don't really realize. Like, yeah, he could play a couple more years, get some more millions, but he's already so rich that his ego might be worth more than the money, which is something that I really don't think. We'll talk about Russell Westbrook later. But yeah, I absolutely think that Malcolm Brogdon, and this is no disrespect to the guy who went like 3 for 15 in an NBA Finals game, but Malcolm Brogdon is like the point guard version of Harrison Barnes, and Harrison Barnes is still easily getting minutes in the NBA right now. But Brogdon, you had a good career. You were undrafted and won Rookie of the Year. Like, that is insane to me. Congrats. All right, next story. Thompson and Jose Alvarado get into a fight in a preseason game, and I'm going to say one thing about it, because at the end of the day, it's just one fight. I think they dapped each other up at the end, after the end of the game, so you really shouldn't think too deep into it, but I will. Thompson might be a guy who can easily get infiltrated in the playoffs. And that might sound kind of crazy, but I really think that he has so much aggression and like it shows so much emotion that like someone gets in his head in the playoffs and he might fold. I mean, we have superstar expectations for Thompson. So if he's going to be a top 10, 15 guy in the league and you got role players kind of, getting in his head. I mean, Jose Alvarado is really good at it with his, sneaky GTA move where he sneaks behind the inbounder or whatever. But like, this is kind of scary. Like, Thompson has already gotten into so many fights. I mean, how many NBA stars have been like this, have been this aggressive? And I'm saying this because I love Thompson and I think he can be a star. Like, you have to chill out. You can't be trying to fight everyone because, yeah, this is the type of stuff that'll get you ejected from an NBA game. And you can't have your superstar doing that. I mean, Asar Thompson, Thompson's twin brother, said that he's always been aggressive like this as a kid. So I don't know how much it's going to change. I hope that he can change. But these fights are different. This isn't like Luka getting a technical foul every 3 or 4 games. You keep trying to fight someone and eventually either you're going to get hurt or the NBA is just, I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting to it. Maybe I am. But I really think I have such high expectations for him that I want him to mellow out more. Don't be as nonchalant as Shea. Don't do that. But just mellow out just a little bit. If we were the same age, I don't believe LeBron would have had 4 championships. LeBron wouldn't have gotten those 2 in Miami. If we're the same age, I can offset him. Paul Pierce, you cannot be talking about offsetting people when you only have 1 championship. Forget Miami LeBron. Get 2 championships in your own career. You're talking about, well, LeBron would have gotten those 2. Well, you get 2. I'm sorry, the 2000s was amazing basketball. Some of the best teams ever were playing in there, but you could have got 2. I mean, he had KG in 09, and you had your chance in 2011 when you played the Miami Heat with LeBron James, and you lost. So why are you trying to talk trash? Man, some players just get so bored. Like, I understand, like, what I'm doing is kind of like podcasting, but I'm not just like talking trash, talking about what I would have been. No, Paul Pierce just gets on podcasts, he gets in front of a microphone, and all he wants to do is hype up his career as if he's like one of the greatest players of all time. He's great. Hall of Famer. Stop talking about LeBron. You're obsessed with him. Chris Haynes reports that Kevon Looney's going to miss the first 2 to 3 weeks of the season. Dude, the Pelicans are cursed. I'm telling you, they need to change names. They need to change cities. They need to change locations, players. They need to change everything. Coaching staff. They need to change training staff. I mean, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know how I feel about the Pelicans training staff and the fact that they were borrowing the Saints training staff for years up until recently. This organization is garbage. It's unfortunate that Zion had to fall there with the amazing tasting food. I will give them credit. New Orleans, the one thing you got is the great food. I'm not even gonna blame New Orleans. It's everything to do with it. So really unfortunate for Kevon Looney, but you know what? Yves Missi, he's gonna get his chance for sure. Be a starter. I don't know if he would have started either way, but I like what I saw. I liked what I saw from Yves Missi last year, and he only started playing basketball like 5 years ago. So I definitely think he can develop into a great center, and then hopefully when Looney comes back, he could be an elite backup center. And then let's go ahead and talk about it. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Domantas Sabonis pushed for Russell Westbrook to be signed to the Kings, and eventually it was done. 1-year deal, $3.8 million. Unfortunately, look, this is just my opinion. This doesn't move the needle for the Kings. I legit, okay, so if you watch the podcast that me and my friend have, Talk Yours, I had them as the 11th seed, I believe. I don't think this raises them. Now, I don't think it lowers them. I don't think Russell Westbrook's that bad. In fact, congratulations for getting the job. But his ego really gets in the way of things. Like, it is just a legitimate fact. He is not as athletic as he was in his prime. That's a fact. So when he's going to finish a layup, it seems like every time he goes up, he underestimates how athletic he is and he misses the layups. I mean, we saw like the game-winning layups that he missed in the playoffs this season with the Nuggets. And by the way, I think the Nuggets are in a similar camp with the Kings in terms of like Jokic, Sabonis, all that kind of stuff. But Westbrook was in the most ideal situation ever with the Nuggets. And the fact that he wasn't able to thrive there, now he wasn't bad in the regular season. He was terrible in the playoffs. He wasn't bad in the regular season, but that was ideal. So he's only getting older. He's only going to get worse unless he truly buys in to finally getting that legitimate catch and shoot jump shot, or he just starts finishing at a good rate. I mean, it is Russell Westbrook we're talking about, and he couldn't finish around the rim on the Nuggets. And that's like his one thing. That's the thing he's always been great at. And in fact, like when he was on the Thunder dominating, he was taking much tougher layups. He's taking easy layups now and missing. I mean, this is concerning. I truly do think, because a lot of Russell Westbrook fans I've already seen on social media have been advocating for him to start over Dennis Schroeder. And while I think Schroeder's more of a six-man type of guy, Schroeder just fits the team better, and he is a better player right now. But still, congrats. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for the Kings. When the Kings are good, their fans show up, and I absolutely love it. So if the Kings could make the play-in or playoffs with Russell Westbrook, that would be amazing. But I don't see it happening. I think they'll barely miss out. I still think they're a good, talented team, but the West is loaded. I mean, in the Eastern Conference, yeah, they're a play-in team. They're better than like a Celtics team, in my opinion, without Tatum. But yeah, also speaking of the Kings, Keegan Murray signed an extension for $140 million over 5 years. I don't know. They really might regret it, because Keegan Murray has only gotten worse ever since that rookie season. If he can just get up to the rookie season, if not a little more, then this contract's going to be worth it. And $30 million a year is not what it was 5 years ago. I mean, $30 million a year isn't that much anymore. So it's not a terrible contract, but I want to see him go back to his original self. Also, the most concerning news of all, Killian Hayes was waived by the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what? You guys win. Finally, after 5-6 years of me holding on to hope, Killian Hayes is a bust. I have believed even like 2-3 years ago that I still thought he could be good, that he is good, that he shows good defense and all that. But if this many teams are not giving him a chance, then I retract anything I've said about him. And I deny anything I ever said about him. I've always said he was terrible. Trust me. It's just sad because going into the draft, he literally was compared to a French James Harden. And I still truly do feel like Killian Hayes has all the moves to be good. He just can't put the ball in the basket. Like he knows how to create separation. He knows how to play make. He's an all right defender. He just needs to put the ball in the basket. I'm talking about layups. I'm talking about jump shots, any sort of version. But oh well. And then the final news we'll go over. Draymond Green says he has no interest in averaging 20 points on a lottery team. Sorry, I couldn't even get through it without laughing. Could I average 20 on a lottery team? I have no interest in doing that. That's like you, dude. Reading this is gonna give me a stroke. I really wish I could find the video clip, but I couldn't find it anywhere. That's like you want me to go play bad basketball. How about this? I once averaged 15 on a great team. I don't know if I have. I can't read this. I don't know if I have that mindset anymore. Like, yeah, that's a mindset that you have to have. And I left that mindset so long ago that I'm not sure I could even tap back into that mindset. Draymond, you average 15 points per game because you get the easiest looks next to Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and the whole Warrior system. If you go to a lottery team, I think his points per game actually goes down because people are actually going to start guarding him because you don't need to guard guys like let's say you went to the Wizards. You don't have to guard Alex Sarr or Bub Carrington like you have to guard Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. So he's not going to get as any open looks. Draymond, you have no bag. How would you score? If Draymond was a leading scorer on a team, I would not pay any amount, even $1, to go watch them play basketball. I don't think so. Also, by the way, he's like 34, 35. You are not tapping back into that because you are not nearly as athletic as you were before. I mean, maybe he's trying to say that if he were to average 20 points per game, it's because the team would have a bad mindset because he's not a good scorer. I actually don't know how to take this. Draymond Green, you are delusional. However, I kind of do want to keep seeing you on like the ESPN or TNTs or whatever, but drop the podcast, dude. You're just trying to hype up your career. Like that's really all it is. That's all these players' podcasts is. I can't stand most players except the ones who can sometimes make fun of their career, like Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague is the only NBA player with a good podcast, in my opinion. Even LeBron's podcast is just Steve Nash and LeBron glazing each other, or whoever LeBron's teammates are at the time. Like it's honestly really annoying. That's gonna be all the news. If you guys enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, please. I'm gonna try. I think it's been like 10 days since my last post, so I'm gonna try and be doing this twice a week. So hopefully every 3 to 4 days. So yeah, like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more. Peace out.